What do you want to talk about?
I have no idea.
You brought up something extremely funny to me about Godzilla, right?
I guess.
All right. We're in the San Francisco Bay Area, right? Right
Yeah.
now, Godzilla, for whatever reason, is on some kind of IP tear. Right?
Well, I want to say that a couple years ago, when Godzilla -1 came out, all of a sudden Godzilla was taken seriously again.
Fuck yeah.
That's how it seems to me.
Absolutely.
That movie was so good and serious.
I was crying in the theater.
Yeah, it wasn't a goofy, let's go watch a goofy Godzilla movie.
No.
It was serious. And so I think, I mean, clearly I don't really know, but my guess would be that movie turned it around and now Godzilla is cool again.
This motherfucker is wearing a Godzilla shirt.
Yeah.
That's how cool Godzilla got, right? And I'm the guy with all the Godzilla toys.
Yeah.
And when I watched that movie, I was not Godzilla's friend.
No.
I was like, don't come into this movie.
Damn that Godzilla.
Don't come into this beautiful love story. Just let him live. Fuck. I know I paid for the Godzilla price, but I honestly, I don't want to see right now, dude. And he comes.
It was so damn good. I'm Chris Lujan.
I am called Bindu.
This is the I Ams.
So Godzilla's on a tear. They got him going through the comic books right now. He's fighting every fucking buddy, right? As it is right now, right? It's May 6th. He has on the Venom suit, the symbiote, and he's.
I have to see this.
Exactly, right? It's on. So, anyways, right? This is getting me to my point. My mom, way back in the day, woke me up early. Woke me up late at night because Bob Wilkins' Creature Feature, who is a celebrity local legend here in the Bay Area, right? He had 2 shows. He had Creature Features, and then in the daytime, he was Captain Cosmic. And that's when he was playing Ultraman and the Space Giants and Spectreman, and that was my shit.
All right.
And I didn't know it. So I was watching a masked, because it was right after Star Wars. So everybody was on the Star Wars hype. And he was dressing up like a superhero, but in space. He had a robot. It would sound like R2-D2.
It sounds to me like he just had all of these different things and was like, I'm going to make a thing. I got this, I got this, I got this. Let's put it all together.
Exactly
like there was no method. It was just like, well, this is what I have. So let's go. Okay.
That's exactly what he did, right? But he had these old shows and he was bringing them in. So he was showing Creature Features at night. And he was Captain Cosmic in the daytime, Monday through Friday, right? So my mom wakes me up. And it's fucking Godzilla versus Bambi.
Bambi.
Have you ever seen it?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was the first mashup, dude.
That was on the Dr. Demento, or there was like a TV show, Fish Heads and all of that shit was on it. I can't remember the name of the show.
Right.
It was just packed with a bunch of shorts. Godzilla versus Bambi is like 40 seconds long, right?
Correct.
Okay, yes.
It's a fucking, all it is Bambi in the forest. And there's credits already going up.
And there's music.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And as the credits go towards the end, Godzilla's foot just comes out and smashes.
Yep, I remember that.
Fucking Bambi. And Bambi's little feet are spread out, right?
Yeah, the end.
And then after a while, Godzilla crunches his toes, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first mashup. And that blew me away, right? And my mom was waking me up to watch Creature Features forever, and that shaped who I am. I mean, look at my fucking, right? It shaped who I am.
What a mess.
Right? And it all started because of that Godzilla mashup. That fucking Godzilla versus Bambi. And now it's fucking Godzilla versus the Fantastic Four. That's 1985 Godzilla, when he was playing in the Metro, came back.
Okay.
Yeah, so when Pee-wee's Big Adventure came out,
yes,
he rode through the set of this as they were making it, and this Godzilla. Yeah, that was that.
So I was just telling you that I read a comic book called Godzilla Skate or Die, and it had like skaters in it, and that's how this came up today.
Please tell me about it.
I mean,
because we were there when the game came out. Skate or die.
Right. I mean, I should probably read it again. So it's like 2 skateboarders, a roller blader, and a roller skater. They're all like homies, and they're like in the city, and all of a sudden...
Oh, it's me and you.
Yeah.
I got on the fruit boots.
And all of a sudden, Godzilla happens. And they go to try to save their magical... Well, not magical, but their like favorite skate spot that it seems like Godzilla is on its way to destroy. I would have to read it again, but I think they basically like the government took down Godzilla before, because I don't think the skaters saved the city. I don't think. I'd have to read it again, even though it was just the other day. The fuck, bro. But yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Well, I have a Godzilla story that I haven't written yet. You like my Robin story?
Yeah.
I have a Godzilla idea. Where Godzilla is battling Space Beast, the three-headed monster, King Ghidorah. Right? Right there. Right. It's all good. Right.
Here, let me grab what fell real quick.
Yeah. Building. Oh, Trump. Well, I put all my monsters on one shelf.
I don't know how this was, so I'll let you figure it out.
It doesn't matter. So, Godzilla fights this fucking monster, right?
Yeah.
And beats the monster. The monster leaves, right? And Godzilla lays down in Tokyo and takes a nap, right?
Okay.
And doesn't wake up. And what are you going to do? He's completely and totally radioactive. You can't move him. You can't do shit. You can't get near him. He's radio, right? So in my story, they just build over him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just build. He's sleeping. Why?
Right.
He's basically in hibernation,
He fought
like
this
he
fucking
does.
thing,
right?
And he goes into right.
And
so we
they
think
build,
he's dead.
They build. Oh, they do think he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they build over him, and we're 100 years later, man.
Okay.
Okay. And no one even fucking. It's a legend. There's little time. Now we're dealing with a comic about a town that with the legend of Godzilla, right?
Okay, hold on. So does it start with them fighting, or does it? So it
No.
Okay, so basically it starts with a hey, there's this story in this that like Godzilla is buried under this stuff.
Right.
Okay.
It's kids skateboarding.
It starts off with the legend.
It's right, but we're in the future now, so you can make it any way you want. Blade Runner,
I got it.
Right? But it's just there's little tiny knickknacks of Godzilla everywhere around. Godzilla sardines, all kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
It was whatever,
sardines.
right?
Yeah.
And you get to learn the entire city, like on an Akira level. The bureaucratic area, the military, right? The street gangs, what it's like to live, the businesses, all of that. You fall in love with the whole fucking town, right? And then something comes from space. And Godzilla starts to wake up. And they're like, I thought that was some bullshit. And this whole city that you fall in love with now starts to fall apart as Godzilla gets up and it goes full kaiju battle. What is happening? Right after weeks or years of you loving this community and these people, right? Godzilla has nothing a part of it, right? All of a sudden, it appears.
See, so this is what I have run into with the comic books that I want to work on too, as I'm telling the stories to Maceo. Like, if let's say you're building this city, right? You're building this city, and there's like a tale of this Godzilla.
Yeah.
Right. How many books before you get to Godzilla?
Years.
See, like, will people be like, why am I reading this? Nothing's happening.
Right. No, because you'll make the book so dope.
Okay.
Don't forget it's about Godzilla. They like it for the street gangs. They like it for this. They like it for that. You're making a dope-ass book.
Right.
But in the back burner, simmering, Godzilla's under the city.
Okay, I got it.
You forget about it. And like everybody else. And then Godzilla comes out. What the fuck? And now we see the strengths of all the different characters and how it will work in this situation.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
You really need to see Attack the Block.
Okay.
But see, because like in the one story that I had, I was telling Maceo. So thank you, Maceo. He set up. He was basically like, so tell me about these comic book ideas you have.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
Right? And this was me in the backyard smoking, and he pressed record on his iPad. And at first I thought he was doing like a voice to text thing, but he was just recording the audio.
Yeah, he got you on the old Jedi mind trick.
No, I knew what he was doing.
Oh. Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is great because like, you know, we'll have it recorded.
Cool.
And I was like, one of these stories, I was like, I guess it could be like 12 comics maybe. And then as we were starting to talk about them, I was like, we basically trimmed it down to four comics, right? Because as I was talking about it, I'm like...
So you're already editing the book.
Yeah. So
it's already underway.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
And that's not even the one I showed you today.
Shit.
Yeah.
So the audience is watching us become comic creators.
Yeah.
And we don't even know it.
Yeah.
We don't even know it. We're just like, oh, we got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Ed Piscor.
So the one that I was talking about being 12 different books.
Edited down to 4.
Being the whole story. Edited down to 4 because I started to realize basically what happens at the end of number 1 and then what happens at the end of number 3. It makes sense to do it in 4 books. If I stretched it over 12 books, it would be like, issue 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all the same. That's how it would seem to me. Right. It would be like it's still building up to the thing, and it seems like the way that I have it now, it's like 4 issues. Like this happens. This is how it starts. This is what happens at the end of the first issue. This is what happens at the end of the second issue. This is what happens at the end of the third issue, and then the finale at the 4th issue.
Okay, George Lucas.
Well, you see, it's the middle of a story. It's poetry. It's like poetry.
So that's why I ask you how many issues would you do a story about Godzilla that has no Godzilla in it? And you say years, because I was like, we got to keep the audience right. Like we got to keep it moving. Otherwise, they would be like, this is the same.
Sure, but I'm letting you in on the inside baseball. We're not letting the audience know it's a Godzilla story.
Oh, we're not.
No, it's a futuristic tale. It's dope as shit with these dope characters. But there is this legendary shit going on in the background that the city's built over top of Godzilla.
So when do you say, hey, there's a legend here that there's a Godzilla buried here?
It's all like trickled throughout the city as you learn these characters.
Right.
But these characters, everything is going to come to a head. A crazy, like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Crazy political turmoil, military unrest, like streak it. What is happening? And while all of this starts to come to a head, right? That's when Godzilla wakes up.
Is this like the book version of The Watchmen? All of a sudden at the end, yeah,
it's totally that. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, so now you have it's right here by the way.
What's
people.
funny?
Now you have an outline here.
Yeah, but what's funny is that there's a Ronald Reagan speech where he talks about the outline of The Watchmen. Mm-hmm. And it was right after that fucking Alan Moore did The Watchmen.
All right. Then.
And I was like, no fucking way. Yeah. Ronald Reagan was talking about aliens fucking causing world peace. If we all got attacked by an alien, we'd all get together.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Alan Moore was paying attention. And he was like, oh, that's a great idea. We'll include a giant space squid and fucking call it
giant space squid.
I'm a magician.
More Godzilla stuff?
Dude, we could go on and on for Godzilla.
Like I said, I saw Godzilla versus the Hulk at the comic book store the other day. I went to Free Comic Book Day and didn't get any free comic books. Because I didn't realize it was Free Comic Book Day when I was there. In Gilroy. Okay, go ahead.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You get to pick 6.
It's all good.
There's a whole bunch of...
I bought here's something that
it's a whole thing.
Here's something that I was recently reminded of, like when being in a comic book
There's
store.
A preview that comes out. These are all the comics you'll be able to choose on Free Comic Book Day.
See, I'm a dum-dum.
No,
I missed that.
No, you're not. You're just getting into comics. You didn't know. It's a whole thing.
That's true. There was even a Free Comic Book Store or a Free Comic Book Day like poster, and I was like, oh, that's not today.
I didn't go to Free Comic Book Day.
We were in Gilroy with nothing to do.
I was here
for hours, way too many hours.
With Flying Colors Comics, who created Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
And I just didn't go.
Okay. You going tomorrow, though? We're going tomorrow, right?
We're going tomorrow, yeah.
So it was 1993 or 4 or 5 or some shit, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a Godzilla movie coming out.
It was 1985, and it's this Godzilla.
No. Not 85. What was the 90s Godzilla?
Oh, 1998.
Okay, so 98.
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, 98, you're like, we're going to the movies. Right. There's a new Godzilla movie coming out.
I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Please continue.
It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It was the first time I actually saw, like, it was a gigantic commercial after another. Like, thank God I have these Energizer batteries, right? Right? Let me take this, Coca-Cola because I'm so thirsty. Go, go, go. Like, it was so that. And then Godzilla was a woman. And Godzilla was terrible. And Godzilla had babies. And it was just the worst fucking thing. It wasn't Godzilla.
It was pretty bad.
Well, they don't understand what Godzilla is. It was basically the first Snyderverse shit we ever got. It's like they think... So you see something that's cool, you know it's cool, but you don't know why it's cool. And you want to know why, but you don't. It's on a primal level or whatever, right? And those types of people with money will go make some shit and not understand what they're making. Yeah. Godzilla is us fucking up Japan.
Where did Godzilla originate?
Godzilla originated after we melted human beings alive with atomic weapons. And that's what Godzilla is. The manifestation of that.
Right.
Yeah. It is a huge message, right? How fucked up America is. Godzilla is America. I don't even fucking get it, man. He's fucking terrible. Everywhere he goes, terrible. Everything he touches, infected, right? Sure, they made him a good guy like in the 70s and everybody loved him.
Right.
A champion, but that's why. So it's just like Batman. It happened to Batman too, right? The first Batman that came out, he had a gun. He was fucking people up. Whoa, dude. Take it easy. They made him all friendly. He was going to Mars and shit with Robin. There was like bat dolphins. It was all weird, right? And then he became dark again with
Bat
the Dark Knight
dolphins.
Returns. Yeah, the whole 50s.
Jesus.
Yeah. This whole thing came out, this book came out, and it basically was blaming Batman and Robin for homosexuality and all the juvenile delinquency.
Was this a book put out by the government?
Yeah. It's a whole thing we can get into. But anyways, whatever. So Batman was dark, then they made him soft, and then Frank Miller made him dark again. And you just saw Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
And they made that motherfucker dark again.
Yeah.
And he's
It's so
dark.
good.
Yeah, so there's the first Godzilla, he's scary and dark. And
Right.
then he's friendly and fun.
Yeah, he's
right?
like Barney.
Yeah. He's totally Barney, right? And then fucking -1 comes out and
and we're back.
Yeah, motherfucker. And then they took the color away. Oh, I really love that shit.
Yep.
That black and white one. Whoa, that's great. So I've seen -1 multiple times, and I give it the highest recommendation to anyone. And you don't even have to like monster movies.
No, I mean, I wasn't really a Godzilla guy like that, you know?
No, I don't think you're like that. You don't really, I mean, you'll watch it, but you don't give a shit.
Yeah, now I give a shit.
Well, with Godzilla, you got the shirt on and everything.
I know.
You went to Japantown? This motherfucker was debating in his head with me. I was like watching it. You were like, yeah, man, we want to go to Japantown, but we're not. You texted it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then you texted to me, fuck it, man. I'm just going.
Yeah, because it was Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Right.
So it was the 4th. So the day before Cinco de Mayo, Sunday.
Bay Area, big deal.
Yeah, and so it was like their Cinco de Mayo celebrations going on. And like last time we went to San Francisco to go to Japantown, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
and it was so fucked up. Like it basically and I use Waze, which is supposed to get you around the shit. It dropped us right in the middle of the shit, and we were basically just like in a parking lot, you know, like on the street. And so it was like, oh man, do we want to do that again?
Yeah,
and then,
well, because Japantown is hidden around a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
So if other shit is happening in the city, it's really hard to get into that Japantown.
Yeah. So it was like decided like days before that we were going to go. Yeah. I looked at the map and I was like, because we had actually decided, forget it. We don't need to go. We're really going there for my wife to get matcha powder, right?
Oh.
So.
What, would she have high blood pressure or something?
No, she just loves fucking matcha.
Oh, well, that will keep you healthy as shit.
Yeah. And so the good stuff, you have to go to Japantown to get it, right?
That is true.
They've looked. I mean, there's probably some hole in the wall like Asian grocery that we could find it in, but but they've looked.
Not you, sir.
Not me.
Yeah.
Because it's behind the counter.
Exactly.
I understand. So we go to Japantown.
Yeah.
And we looked at a map and we were like, oh fuck it, maybe we will go because it's not telling us any longer. And thanks to Waze, we got off in Oakland and went around all of the traffic for the toll thing. And it's actually like we basically, if you go into Oakland and you're on West Grand and you just because West Grand will take you right on to the toll plaza, basically. And if there's 3 of you or more, which there were, you could get into basically the bus lane or carpool lane, and it bypasses everything. You don't even have to wait at a metering light.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said any of that just right now. What the fuck are you thinking?
Well,
dude?
no one's watching us, so
You don't know that yet, bro. You just gave away a secret ass fucking way to give. Oh man, you're gonna have to edit that out.
I'm not gonna.
You didn't see that one? Oh my god, you didn't watch it. There's a Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry does that. He tells someone his secret fucking way, and it gets around, and then the next time he tries to drive, he's like, "What's happening?" And it's all backed up. Anyways, no, man, Japantown, dude. So I can't go with you right now because I'm a little, financially.
I get it.
Whatever.
By the way, we ran into 0 traffic.
Really?
Japantown was light. We actually went to the beach, which is where Tunnel Records is on Terraval. We went there. It was light. We found parking everywhere, no problem. Sometimes we go to Japantown and it's packed. You could barely get around. This time, nice and easy. Okay,
it's
go
usually
ahead.
Always packed.
Yeah, not
In
on
fact-
Sunday.
What?
Because probably everyone was doing their Cinco de Mayo stuff. So the people who would have gone to Japantown are now in other areas.
Yeah, well, we do have. When I made a comment that we have the best Mexican food,
Yeah,
better than Mexico.
you said that.
Right. It's because Mexico has large territories, right? We have all of the very best of those territories all condensed in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to travel hella far to get Oaxacan food.
Right.
We have the best Oaxacan food right here. Or if you don't like that Oaxacan food, you can go to Mecca.
Yeah.
Right? It's right here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who are catering the San Francisco Giants and the fucking Raiders. And
Yep.
all from our little town.
Are from our little town.
Are from our little
Are
town.
for bird.
Would you like some tincture?
No, I think I'll survive without it. What's that do for you?
It gets me incredibly high.
Okay.
I just, I like being inebriated.
I get it.
Yeah, I got that from my friend Chris Lujan.
No, you didn't. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gave me that tincture the other night. You brushed it out? You can't,
One full dropper.
Right.
Okay.
We go to your
That's what you
fucking
did.
house.
Yeah.
My son shows up out of nowhere, which was just,
Yeah.
God damn it, that was awesome.
Uh-huh.
What a night. What a great night.
It was the best, actually.
It was, and so I have feedback for you.
Okay.
Because I know that was like your test, or not a test.
Part of it.
It was neat seeing you be able to, okay, start from the beginning.
We made pizza. Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show.
You invited me, my friend Emmy, and my son showed up right at the last minute.
Yeah.
And when you came over, you go, yeah, we're making pizzas, we made doughs. I know that you took a long break without eating bread, and now
Yeah, here we
wanna
are.
come over? And I'm like, yeah. All right, so you made the date, 6 o'clock, we'll be there, right?
Mhm.
What should we bring, right? So I go over there. Emmy brings the wines or whatever,
Yeah.
right? We go down, and you make the most comfortable atmosphere
Try.
and the most wonderful pizzas with no error.
No issues. No.
None.
Okay, whatever.
And the pizzas came out so good, right? That Emmy and my son, to see them and their expressions and them not knowing the journey that you took,
Mhm.
right? My son was saying exactly what I told you customers were going to say. I could probably do that.
Sure.
He goes, wow, man, he looks so easy. Look, we could do that. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, this is a fucking art. This is an artist, and this is a craft, and he is fucking, right now, we're his first group that he's ever he's banging these out one after the next.
Yeah.
0 problems. Meanwhile, keeping the atmosphere so lovely.
Yeah. We made 6 pizzas.
There was a couple of times you and I looked at each other, and it was like, this is golden.
Yeah.
Everybody was happy. Even the animals were happy. Like, everybody was
Yep.
happy. It was so cool. My son was vibing with your son.
Uh-huh.
And they were talking about, like, math.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Real nerd shit. And so, yeah, then we were sitting we did all of this outside. It got a little cold outside, so we took it inside.
Mhm.
And at some point,
Where was the hummingbird heater?
Oh, it's in the garage because I just cleaned out the whole. You're right. You wouldn't have felt it anyways.
Okay.
You had to stand right in
So
front
we
of it.
bring it inside.
We bring it inside, and at some point, I just go grab these paper bags and just dump them on the
grab this
table.
Halloween fucking bag.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And you dump out this wonderful assortment. And everything is THC.
Yeah, it was an overabundance of edibles.
Right. So I grabbed a few things. Like it was Halloween. I picked it out. And this was one of the things I picked out. And it's 1,000 milligram tincture bottle.
All right.
And so you can just do, whatever. It's like 30 at a time.
Yeah, that's thanks to Jacob. That was
Hell
his,
yeah. Fuck yeah, Jacob.
his gifts
He
from
was-
working at the dispensary.
Oh, God. When he left there, you must have been like, I support you, but damn it.
Yeah, there was some time where I was like, oh man, now I gotta buy it. You know.
Damn, this shit's expensive.
Yeah,
It's not that expensive.
it can be.
Yeah, it used to be ruthless, man.
It can be surprisingly expensive when they like don't have prices on anything really, and then you go grab some things and then they ring you up and you're like, God damn it.
Oh.
I should have asked questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should always be prices. So there was like, right now, building Gundam models is called Gunpla.
Okay.
It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was building Gundam models, it didn't have a name. And there were only those couple of stores I told you about. There was New Type.
Right.
It was a dude's garage in San Francisco. And there was Kimono My House in Emeryville on top of that place. And that's where I got this Godzilla.
Okay.
Bag. And that was the only place where you could get any Godzilla, Japanese, anything other than Japantown.
I mean, this and that one, these do not seem like toys. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Like this one can seem like a toy. That one seems way too fragile to be a toy.
Yeah, this guy's crazy expensive. He's all, he can do everything. His toes move. It's great.
What are we even doing?
We're talking about Godzilla, man, and how great he is. Well, what's funny about Bob Wilkins is, we haven't even got into Bob Wilkins, but Bob Wilkins is a local legend in the Bay Area. He went out with Alzheimer's in his 80s,
Yeah.
his late 80s, but he was so fucking cool. And if you don't know who he is, he's this calm, collected, cool white dude that always has the biggest fucking cigar you've ever seen. And he talks straight-faced, dry humor about the dumbest fucking movies. The Blob, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes,
Yeah.
all that type of shit. He's
I don't
great.
even remember this show.
He was like, all he did was like create foundations and charities for Oakland, basically, right? He was fucking
All right.
awesome. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look him up.
Mm-hmm. And so he's the one behind all the fucking Humphrey and Charlie. Glue!
Okay,
Glue.
that I know.
He's behind all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob Wilkins, right? And Bob Wilkins is the one that brought like Godzilla onto like daytime TV, so you could see him all the time.
Right.
Because we grew up watching. Godzilla was on TV like every weekend.
So does the Godzilla that has a Venom costume, does Venom, see like Venom to me seems like a take on Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
So there was a black costume Spider-Man with a white spider. That Venom isn't that, right? There's no white spider on Venom, right? Or
Yeah.
is there?
There is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. In the 80s, in the mid 80s. Yes.
So on the Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
where he is wearing the Venom costume,
Mhm.
is there a white spider across him?
I don't know. I haven't seen the comic yet. I'm dying to see it.
Yeah.
So in the 80s, there was this comic in Marvel. It was a theme in Marvel called Secret Wars. And all the
yes.
comics went there, right?
I saw a bunch of those, yeah.
Yeah, they all left Earth and they went and had a secret war.
Mhm.
And while they were out there, fucking Spider-Man found this alien cloth shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, brilliant,
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, helps him. Anyways, he makes a suit out of it. And now the suit can come on and off at will. And it can change into clothes, right?
Was it sentient at that time?
Yes, but nobody knew it. So it started getting more and more possessive of Spider-Man, of Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started taking him while he was asleep. It would suit him up as Spider-Man and take him out. So it would keep him asleep and do shit, right? So Spider-Man realized he had to separate himself from this alien thing. And he did it with sound. He used a bell, and it separated the alien from Peter, fucked him up, right? And now this alien wants revenge on Peter.
Is this only in comic book form? This hasn't been animated, or it's not part of any of the movies?
That's what Venom is. That's what Venom
No,
is.
I understand that.
So that thing got onto Peter Parker, took the job of another reporter, and that dude Eddie Brock was pissed off. And Eddie Brock met up with this thing. He hates Peter. He hates Peter. They all got together. That's became Venom. And that's what Venom is.
So, but the Venom movie,
mm-hmm.
Is there Spider-Man in the Venom movie?
I don't know. I didn't see it. But
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
That's why it was kind of dumb.
So what I was going to say 15 minutes ago or whatever the fuck, here's something I didn't realize or remember that you could do in a comic book store, right? Other than the new comics, and I don't know, maybe you could wheel and deal on the new comics too, but like there's prices on them, but whatever. You know, like, so I got an Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips book there in Gilroy, and it was like $22.99, right? And I go to the counter, and he's like, let's just call it $12. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that part of like, you could do that shit in comic book stores. I wasn't even asking for a deal. I was just like, I'm paying $22.99. I did see three issues.
What did we learn? Don't say anything. Let them talk first.
Maybe.
How much are these?
Yeah. How much you want for this one? Yeah. I did see 3 issues of Stray Toasters there. Like the OG. But I was like, I don't know.
How much were they?
One was $5, one was $10, and one was $15 or $18, maybe $12.
I might pick those up
like
just to have them, man. I just like anything Sienkiewicz does.
Well, I have the trade paperback, so I was like, I don't really need these. You know,
this became a total comic book thing.
Well, I sense a lot of them. Maybe I shouldn't say this for the people who aren't interested in comic books, but I sense a lot of them coming up will be comic book based because I'm so interested now, and you have all the answers.
Well, right before we started recording,
I have all the questions.
Maceo caught it, but you are one of those guys that if you get a hair in your ass,
I guess so.
Yeah, and you fell in love with comics very recently. We fell in love with them very recently.
Yeah, but I'm very particular.
Yeah,
you know,
and that there's me too, right? Which is great.
Yeah,
it just shows you have a taste, right?
Yeah,
a style. And now you're like, fuck it, I'm making one.
Or 2,
and now you're like,
4.
Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do it digitally. And now you're asking me how long would it take me to train you, to teach you how to use it, so that you were sufficient enough
to use Procreate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I tried to do something at home with by hand, and I was like, oh, I could see how digital would help you with this, you know.
Well,
because my brain says, no, fuck that shit. You got to do it all by hand. But, you know, God damn it.
Yeah. But that's kind of like me saying, all right, well, I want to play this dope ass song on upright bass. Right? Okay, you have to learn how to play the upright bass.
Right.
And it's like, wait, no, I just want to play the song.
But like
it doesn't work like that.
The whole Son of Mustard comic strip you did in Procreate, right?
Correct.
Digital. I mean, it looks hand drawn. Yep. So I just gotta I don't have anything to hand. Well, you gave me a thing. I gotta go figure it out.
Yeah.
Or I get an iPad.
Well, do them both.
I could.
Yeah, do the one thing until you get the iPad. Because you might like working with the Wacom tablet and Illustrator better.
Maybe.
You know, it's more powerful. Plus, you can vector it, which means what? Means you can blow an image up as big as forever, and it never gets blurry. Where Procreate, you can only blow it up so big.
Okay.
Depending on how big you make it. And the bigger you make it, the less layers you have to play with, and it's a whole, it's a whole thing.
Well, what I would really want, and I was talking to Maceo about this on the way here, and he had an idea too. What I really would want would be like, here, Brandon, here's the script. Here's my rough sketches of what I want. Now do it. But then that puts you to work. makes you have a job. Maceo said, maybe like you should both be involved. Maybe if you, meaning me, aren't good at characters, he could do the characters. If you aren't good at backgrounds, he could do the background. So there's a million things we could talk about.
Definitely, I'll collab on a comic book with you.
Okay.
That would be great. Yep. You know what else I was thinking? Because I was thinking like, yeah, my what am I gonna do with my, Never Not Ninjas and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the idea of like when Dark Knight and Robin are jumping across the city. It's so romantic. Because I've done that.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys climbing on buildings when I was like,
Mhm.
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm Batman! That type of shit.
Always.
I
thought you were
know the
Batman.
feeling. I know what it feels like. Right?
Yeah.
To parkour through the city.
Right.
Right. And so I want to paint my backgrounds.
I understand.
But then,
did you
so this is what I
like
just,
on canvas?
Yeah. So this
Okay.
is what I just learned how to do. I learned that I can pencil sketch my shit on white paper, pull that pencil off, and throw it into my iPad. Now we're playing with power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can color it up digitally the way I want, and then take that image of me jumping that I drew. Now I digitally manipulated it, and now I'm jumping, and I'm putting it on my painted background that I did with real paints, right?
Yeah.
Mixed medium shit. It'll be cool.
That all seems so complicated. Like whenever we would do like graphics, just to post a dumb Instagram post or whatever, you would take an image and then like you would use one program. See, like I'm pretty much like a one program guy. It's like it did whatever I needed it to do. Fuck it.
Same.
But there's other people who are like, oh yeah, I used this program to get everything laid out, and then I used this other program to put like the texture to it, and then this other and I'm just like,
Too much.
that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Right.
The
only reason why I would be doing it is because it took me years to learn how to paint, right? And then it took me all my life to learn how to draw.
Right.
I got those dialed in now.
Mhm.
I just learned this digital shit.
Right.
So the things that I can do easy, that'll
Yeah.
be very hard for everybody else, because I'll create a look that kind of like The Biz. There's this guy, Simon Bisley, The Biz.
Okay.
And he's the first person to use mixed medium in comics that I know of, right? And his artwork, when you see it, you're like, oh, that's The Biz, huh? Holy fuck, how did he do it? And everyone was
Okay.
like, how's he doing it? Because everybody else, back before digital,
Right.
how the fuck is he doing this? And he was like drawing, airbrushing, he was using fucking these crayons, all kinds of shit. Crazy UK bastard.
So you want to collab?
Sure.
So,
Well, the only reason why I say sure, the only reason why I don't take your book and be like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it, is because I just figured out
no,
Never
I
Not
understand.
Ninjas, and now I want to just fucking draw fucking character design and all of it. I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing with it now.
Okay.
And so now I'm going to have a comic. Woo.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Never Not Ninjas will be an 8-page comic. There will be 6 of them. When they all come together, it'll be a 48-page book, right?
Right.
And I'll have free PDFs downloadable for people
Right.
that join our Patreon.
Because what we could do, good idea.
Mhm.
What we could do is we could do it like Brubaker Phillips, right? And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the Brubaker, you're the Phillips.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And we could just like split it 50-50.
Absolutely.
So like where Son of Mustard, I felt like you were doing me a favor. I was doing you this other favor for like making songs for you. Those are not related at all. It was just so like for Son of Mustard, I felt like the artwork, this is going to sound weird and I don't mean it like this, but it didn't belong to you because I was asking you to do a thing for me.
No, it's exactly
Right?
That's descriptive. That's what it is.
Right. So if you want to collab like for real, I can definitely be like, obviously feel free to do your own thing. Obviously, Never Not Ninjas and Badass Bruno, all that stuff.
I'm so
But-
excited.
But for these certain ones that I'm giving to you, it's like I wrote it, you illustrate it, 50-50.
I like it.
All right. Now I just got to get on your butt to like, I'll give you the script. Well, actually, I got to do like, So what I would,
3-page script you're talking about?
yeah. So I have a 3-page script, 3-page in like movie form. So it was going to be a short movie originally. Never got around to it. It seems like a good starter comic book for me because, like I said, it's a 3-page script. So I guess what I'll do is I'll give you the script. I'll also give you what I'm imagining as panels.
Mhm.
For whatever I can, but I would still want you to be creative and do whatever, if you feel like oh, let's put a panel here with this, I would still want you to be able to, do that.
Yeah.
And not just follow whatever I've given you to a T and been like, no, it's got to be like this.
Well, that's usually how it works, man. And you don't realize that inside baseball until, I was watching the cartoonist Kayfabe, and they were talking about the inker. They had an interview with the inker to The Dark Knight Returns and what it was like working with Frank.
Yeah.
Right? And Klaus Janson is like, Frank is particular.
Well, I'm sure there will be some parts where I'm like, hey, this needs to be like this, By the way, I just realized this is the fan on episode.
Oh,
just leave it at this point. Oh, well.
Should I just turn it off right now?
Nah, just leave it on.
Comic books and
that way instead of them being like, oh yeah, it sounds so much better now without it on, they'll have to just watch another episode to see what it sounds like without it on.
Oh, I like that. Well, so look, what's happening, it started to happen already. Shout out to my buddy Marco out there who animated our logo. Mm-hmm. He goes, dude, I haven't binged a podcast in a long time, right? Not since DVD ASA.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, he's like, yes, another episode.
Oh, good.
I'm like, it's starting, right? It's starting. The smart people out there are finding us.
Good.
Fuck yeah.
Good. I don't know what else there is to say right now. I got really high.
Did have, since the last we've seen each other, you haven't gigged. Have you gigged?
Yeah, we went to
Since the
not
pizzas?
Costa Mesa. Yeah, we went to
King
City and Gilroy.
See?
Yeah.
I'm paying attention.
Oh, man. So quickly, these are how those gigs went. So King City...
Our show is so dope. For real. We just talked about Godzilla comics while getting high, and now we're finishing it with you talking about your gigs you just had because you're a rock star.
Yeah, I'm a rock star.
You fucking are.
So King City was in a barbecue joint called the Rustic Barrel.
Hell yeah.
Right? And they got us... So when we were booking these 2 days in a row with Mariah Avila is who we opened for. She's on IMG. When we were asked to do these 2 gigs, I told Andre, check and see if they'll get us a room for, the night of the first gig, Anyways, they did, right?
Hey.
So the Rustic Barrel and the hotel, same parking lot.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So it was like, I have never played a place and slept the night so close to each other before ever. Right?
That's awesome.
So it was pretty awesome. So it's on this stage, right? And there was over 100 pre-sold tickets to this one.
Wow.
Right? And it was like, okay, interesting. Like at a fucking steakhouse, he sold over 100 pre-sale tickets. All right. So we go up. It's pretty packed. This crowd talked the whole time. Like there was almost like zero difference in crowd chatter from like 10 minutes before we even hit the stage to like the middle of our set. It was just consistent crowd chatter.
Yikes.
It was pretty bad, the crowd chatter.
Yikes.
But there were people who were, after we played, were like, we came here just for you. Like, I drove 45 minutes for you guys.
No shit.
Yeah, so like people came to see us.
Dope.
But it was just like, so there were quite a lot of people that were like, oh man, I wish it would have been quieter so we could like hear you, you know.
Damn.
So then the next, and then Mariah sang to tracks. So she didn't have a band with her. She sang to a USB stick, right? And she had emailed the tracks to the DJ who was going to play her backing tracks, right? And I guess they never downloaded them, so they were just playing them from the computer. And it was all fucked up. Like, she basically hit the stage, and they started the music, and it was like slow, but like I can't explain how this happened with the digital file, but it would like slow down and then speed up to normal speed and then slow down again. It was the weirdest thing. And it was like super crackly. She was probably on stage for 30 seconds and got back off till she gave the DJ the USB stick. Play them off of this, you know. Wow. So then the second night, we wake up in the morning, me and Andre go get brunch in Pacific Grove, right? King City, it was basically like an hour to Monterey, which is Pacific Grove and Monterey are basically like almost the same. And then another hour from there to Gilroy, right?
I love Pacific Grove.
Yeah, so we had brunch at this tight spot, and there was like a whole like festival going on in the street. We got right into the restaurant though, so that was tight. And then it was like, now I've also never played two cities that are so close to each other, right? Typically, like when we do a tour of sorts, it'll be like, and now we have to drive 4 to 6 hours to get to the next city.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, and like I said, it's because I've been conditioned to, we have to go, we have to leave, we got to get to the next city. We didn't spend any time in Monterey. We basically just like ate brunch and then like got to Gilroy and then had to wait like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, Monterey, dude, Cannery Row,
I know.
saltwater tap.
We should have done all of that shit, but I was, and we were halfway to Gilroy.
Ghirardelli is right there.
And I was like, oh man, Andre, we should have. But like, we weren't thinking, you know? So we get to Gilroy. That's where the comic book shop was.
And garlic.
And garlic.
They got hella garlic
So
in Gilroy.
so the next night, so Gilroy, right? We're waiting forever. We were supposed to load in at 4:30. I don't think we loaded in until after 6 because like people weren't there, to open the club. And at this one, he had told us the night before. So the night before, over 100 pre-sale tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gilroy, 9, right? So it's like, what the fuck? But you count on people showing up, you know. And so we're supposed to sound check at 6 or something like that, right? The show's supposed to start at 8. The sound man shows up at 8:05.
Oh.
So we've just been sitting there the whole time. We haven't sound checked nothing, right? Sound man shows up at 8:05. Now keep in mind, we're performing as a duo. So it's like a microphone on the guitar amp and a microphone for Andre. We didn't start till 9 o'clock.
Oh, is that hard, huh?
Yeah, that difficult to set up 2 mics. I don't know what the fuck was happening. Dude would walk, it was a decent spot, District Theater. Dude would walk to the soundboard that's on the stage, which is usually where your like monitoring section is. And then he would like do whatever the fuck he was going to do, set up the couple of microphones, and then like, dude, a couple times. And so we had a DJ playing the whole time. A couple times.
Thank God for that.
The sound man did some shit that just in the mic. It was fucking like, oh shit, what the hell?
Gave everybody a
and it's like
tinnitus.
What the hell? Like this guy? What is up with this guy? And he kept walking back to like the booth where he would like do the live sound. He must have walked back and forth a dozen times. And I'm just sitting there going, it's 2 microphones.
Drugs.
Maybe.
2 hours late. Can't do shit right. Drugs.
He didn't seem like a bumbling idiot though.
Dang.
But apparently he was.
He was just Chris Farley of...
So the guy who put on the show, Cali Love Productions, I think. We were talking to him, and he's like, they did a show. So the Cali Love guy, Chico, is in the reggae scene more than anything. This is like one of the first soul shows he's ever done, or that he's done recently. But he's like baked into the reggae scene.
Cool.
Right? So he said Black Uhuru, I don't know, you probably don't know who they are. They're a reggae band, Black Uhuru, and they played there at the District Theater.
Black Uhuru?
And
cool.
And he said it was the same sound guy. Oh. And they were supposed to sound check at 6 o'clock, and the show was supposed to start at 8. The Black Uhuru guys were pissed.
Yeah?
I guess like the vocalist told him, like, if he don't show up by 8, we're not playing. And then, of course, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are the headliners or whatever. I guess Chico talked them down because when the sound guy showed up at 8:30. And so, like, what he said when he saw the same guy who was the sound man, because it was the same guy. When he saw it was the same guy, he was like, God damn it, I didn't know it was going to be the same guy.
What in the fuck?
I don't know, man.
Because the gigs were so close together.
It was a cool... but it wasn't the same sound guy from the night before. It was, the guy who does one of the guys who works at the District Theater. You heard me. It was a cool spot, though. It reminded me of the Ritz in San Jose, which is one of the places we play a lot.
I haven't been.
Yeah, that just all of a sudden was a place that we played maybe 5 times, like back to back, like pretty quick. So Anyways,
See?
that was my weekend.
Fucking rock star.
Psh, it just seemed like disaster after disaster. Like one night, you could barely hear us, which actually was like, oh, I could just play whatever. Like I could fuck up all I want. No one could hear this.
Bro, I had a fucking gig last night
Yeah.
in this fucking like, it's like a really nice place, but they have a really loud sound system.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, what the fuck do you expect me to do? So it's a private party. We're in a private room, and the person that has hired me, this hot ass in there, she's going to be 31. So it's this group of beautiful women, right? But she works there.
Yeah.
So she knows. And she goes, I've been to many of your shows. She hired me last minute. Can you do me a solid private event? And I'm like, holy shit, I'm free on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the first time ever, I think. Right, so, yeah.
And I saw the room you played in. They may have been in a private room, but it was open to
open,
yeah,
bro.
to the rest of the building.
It was like a loft.
Yeah, exactly what it was. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So they were so loud down there, they didn't hear us, and I cranked my shit up. And
okay.
Yeah, so it all worked out. But I was just thinking, like, what? I'm not going to panic. They know what's up.
Yeah.
They know who I am. They hired me for me, and they work here. So if the sound doesn't work out, they're not going to be mad at me. Whatever.
You know what I will say though? La Piñata, very boomy in that room.
It's like
it's hard to understand you sometimes because it's so boomy.
I know. It's like talking in the shower.
Maybe you got to cut the lows or something.
Oh yeah, sound designer, help me out, motherfucker. Well, I'm also going to place my voice in the back of the room for anybody that's there. But yeah, I know. It's like talking in the shower. Like, you know, if you watch porn and they're in the shower, they're like talking back and forth to each other, right? But in real life, huh?
Yeah.
What?
It's all done after the fact.
My foot is what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally not romantic.
Yeah,
it's more barbaric, which is more fun, anyways. Hair pull, choke a little bit, spit in the mouth, maybe.
You realize we're like 33, 34 episodes in, and we have not talked about the whole Maddie O'Reilly thing. You thought, I really think that you thought we're going to talk, that's going to be one of the main topics of this whole show. And yeah, we haven't been never, you've mentioned her every once in a while, but like the whole story has never been told.
Yeah, those were fun times. Because she liked to play games, that porn star loved showing off nonstop. So, like booze, I have it recorded where we had there's a game called Clask, and Clask is it's a European tabletop bar game, and it's like it's like tennis, or it's a little, you'd love it, dude. I'll get you one.
Is it those hooks?
No, it's it's hockey.
Okay.
Right? But you have a magnet joystick on the bottom of the board, and you control a little thing on the top of the board so you can hit the ball.
Okay.
And save your goal. Right? And it's like that. And
you
can play back and forth. Right? It's not air hockey, but you're using magnets and shit.
Okay.
It's fun as fuck, especially when you're drunk. So it's huge in Europe. Right?
All right.
So we're playing it, and we have a huge competition in my house. And Booze is the Clask king. He fucking beat Maddie O'Reilly at the very end at the fucking championships. Yeah. And we fucking... Okay, right? You laugh, right?
Yeah, I do.
Right, because she posted that shit. Clask sent me a all-pink Maddie O'Reilly Clask board dedicated to her, and I hate myself that I gave it to her and I didn't keep it. Because Bug Assault, she was shooting with Bug Assault in my house. Bug Assault sent me, because she never had shit sent to her house because she's always moving and shit. So all the porn shit, everything would come to my house. I have hell of toys, porn toys, all this shit. Yes, dude. What the fuck?
I mean, I dumped out a whole thing of edibles. Like, you gonna dump out a whole thing of sex toys? What's up?
Dildos and shit.
Can I take my pick now?
Right? So,
shit.
Yeah, man. So these fucking places loved Maddie O'Reilly, and they sent me a pink Bug Assault.
Right. You've talked about that.
I gave it to her. I didn't keep it. Like a dumbass.
You don't want that stuff, though.
Dude, yeah, but a pink version of anything is cool. I got a pink Batman just for my birthday the other day. Pink anything is cool.
All right.
Right? So, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that was a fun ass time, man. We'll get into Maddie soon.
We'll talk about it sometime.
Yeah. Oh, Elmo's hillbilly.
That's probably an episode right there, right?
I think so.
Sorry if I'm half asleep. Jesus.
Dude, what are you talking about? I just woke up.